A thesis written by Martin Hamish. A glasses case. It is empty. This area serves as Martin Hamish's office. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. This poster is for an exhibition that Martin Hamish was directing, but it had nothing to do with Kyu Gardens. This certificate belongs to Martin Hamish. We can see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room from this window. These young plants must be delicate if they are kept in the nursery. It is a bust of I am curious if the marble that we found will fit this place. Here it is. The marble fragment that we found in the Colonial Collection Room is what they have in common. The seeds of plant species are stored.
Look, Holmes, this charming lady must be Miss White. She's entering the seed house.
Open. This is one of the outlets of the ventilation. From here, we are unable to see the interior of the Colonial Collection Room. These leather gloves are new and of good quality. A book about ships. Materials for college study. This place serves
Good day to you, miss. You have some very beautiful plants here.
Why, thank you, sir. And good day to you too. But
Oh, I do beg your pardon. My name is Dr. John Watson. This is my good friend, Mr. Sherlock Holmes.
I am honored to make your acquaintance, gentlemen. My name is Margaret White. Excuse me, but are you Sherlock Holmes, the great detective?
Yes, I am he.
What a pleasure to see you here at Kyu Gardens. Are you working on a case?
Yes, a theft of plants that took place here a few days ago after their most recent exhibition.
Oh yes, of course. I quite forgot about that.
Oh, it's quite understandable that you might forget about the theft of the plants, miss, after the tragedy that took place here.
Yes. The director was a truly good man. It is such a terrible misfortune.
Would you happen to know why part of the colonial collection was...
No, I have never been there.
Do you...
Part-time only. I am a biology student at the London University. I attend the same class. That is how I found my chance to work here for part of my thesis, you see.
Most of the doors in Kew Gardens are locked. Do you have a key?
Oh, yes. Albert gave me a set of duplicate keys. He agreed I might carry out my studies without...
How well did you know Mr. Montague Dunn?
He was a master, a great leader.
He had an exceptional nature.
Oh yes, indeed. He was always so active.
Why so?
He loved his son dearly and wanted the very best for him. It made him extremely demanding.
Thank you, miss. I perceive that you are passionate about the Royal Navy.
Passionate? No, not really. I like ships, that is...
Are you quite sure? You do not seem to be...
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. Passionate? No, not...
Are you...
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
I perceive.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
I perceive.
It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else. It's difficult, that's all. My future is here. It has never been about anything else.
And yet I know that the Royal Naval College rejects.
Ah, you truly are as clever as they say. Yes, that's correct. And in fact, my father was strongly against. He did his best to ruin my plans. Although I almost did succeed. But my...
Thank you, young man. We shall see you again soon. There is a bust of Montague Dunn in the nursery.
A bust? Oh, that old thing. Further proof of that outrageous ego of his.
But why in that room, in particular?
Oh, I don't know. It has always been there.
It is strange, because I recovered a fragment of the bust inside the Colonial Collection Room.
Really? Oh, well, so I am mistaken. It ought to have been removed during the cleanup.
Do you know who moved it?
I have no idea. Surely Mr. Dunn requested it. Do you have any more questions like this? Because fragments...
Evident. Mr. Hamish, was someone from your family connected with...
Family? No. I'm the only one with a passion for botany.
I do not think... This photograph of... Do tell us more about your father.
He was, indeed, the greatest botanist of his time. He worked together with Montague Dunn until the end of his life. He brought me in at the age of
Did he get on well with Mr. Dunn?
No, I couldn't say that. They expanded, and it was all my father's work. For Dunn...
So Mr. Dunn was not...
Oh yes, he provided the financial support. But the worst of it was, he declared fame meant nothing to my father. So it was easy for Mr.
Mr. Hamish, can you explain to us what happened to the colonial...
But,
You're not sure, then?
well, I am busy. I cannot be every...
Tell me, Mr. Hamish, do you grow the...
You mean insectivorous? Yes, but nothing larger than that.
What is your opinion of Albert?
He's useless. I often tell him so, and I can only give him... Botany is not his life's work. And...
He was.
Oh yes, he forced his son to work here.
Are you able to elaborate on that?
Well, for example, with our last exhibition. But then, while the lad was speaking, Mr. Dunn interrupted him. It was with the intention of making a fool of him, Mr. Holmes.
That must have been terribly humiliating.
Yes, he was crushed, and he had to leave. That is, except for Miss Margaret White.
You mentioned a Miss White. Would...
She is a student who works here part-time. She is quite charming. You should take a look at some of her experiments that she carried out in the laboratory.
Why naive?
How could an intelligent woman such as Miss White not see through...
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
As deputy director, how was your relationship with Montague Dunn?
To be honest with you, Mr. Holmes, you see, every Tuesday he would carry out his inspection of the gardens. He would give out absurd orders, ignoring anyone else's opinion. He was what some might call a man of action. So after all, it was no wonder, perhaps, that he ended up...
You mentioned that Mr. Dunn led
Well, it's no secret that he enjoyed...
And...
He had an eye for the ladies.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation. None of the 3 people who work at Kew Gardens know why half of the colonial collection was cleared. So, someone is lying. It is obvious. The Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kyu Gardens. Besides, here it is. And here is the Divine Syndicate's address. Perfect. It is time to